Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Rising a Buddhist Oz. It's a great honor to be here with you today. I'm Nancy, the founder of International Buddha Dharma Society for Cosmic Law in America. In our previous talks, we have talked about various kinds of precepts, contemplate on these precepts on the mind ground, and practice them in life. Today, we will talk more of precept, and also we will talk about the subject of lust. We will see what the Buddha said about lust. First, I'll share a little story about precept with you. The story about Sakyamuni Buddha and also two novices who went to see the Buddha. At that time, the Buddha stayed in Jetavana in the country of Sravasti. From the country of Jagriha, there were two novices who were on their way to Sravasti to see the Buddha. It was a long way, and there were no people on the road. It was very dry and hot, and all the springs were dried up. The two novices were very thirsty, and they even had difficulty to breathe. Then they saw a spring which had little bit water left, but there were worms in it. They sighed. "We go a long way to see the Buddha, and don't want to die here." One person said, "We should drink this water to save our lives so that we could go and see the Buddha in person." The other person said, "The Buddha's definitive precepts put compassion at the first place. If we kill lives to live, then it would be meaningless to see the Buddha. I would rather hold the precepts to die than to break the precepts to live." The first person drank the water readily and then continued his journey. The second person did not drink the water. He died and then was reborn on the second layer of heaven. Trayastrimsha. He introspected and remembered what happened to him. Then he went down to the Buddha's place with some flowers. He bowed to the Buddha and then sat by his side. The first person, after some days, arrived at the Buddha's place, tired. He saw the Buddha, the Supreme One. He bowed and cried, "My friend died and could not see Buddha anymore. May Buddha know this." The Buddha said, "I already knew." The Buddha pointed to Deva by his side and said, "This Deva is your friend because he could hold all the precepts well. He came here first." The Buddha then expounded, "You could see my body, but you don't hold my precepts. Although you see me, I don't see you. If you are thousands of miles away from me, but you hold my precepts, then you are just in front of me." After hearing this, the first person repented. This is a story to contemplate on. In this Dharma ending period, there are many people claim themselves to be masters or even Buddhas. Without wisdom eye, it's very hard to tell. Always remember what the Buddha told us. Precepts are our teacher, and sutras are our teacher. Nowadays, the society is full of lust, and many people are trapped and cannot extricate themselves from lust. Today, we will recite the first part of the four clear and definitive instructions on purity in the Shrankama Sutra, and let's see what the Buddha said about lust. The Buddha told Ananda, "You constantly hear me explain in the Vinaya that there are three unalterable aspects to cultivation, that is, collecting one's thoughts constitutes the precepts. From the precepts comes samadhi, and out of samadhi arises wisdom. Samadhi arises from precepts, and wisdom is revealed out of samadhi. These are called the three non-leakage studies." Ananda, why do I call collecting one's thoughts the precepts? If living beings in the sixth path of any mundane world had no thoughts of lust, they would not have to follow a continual succession of births and deaths. Your basic purpose in cultivating is to transcend the wearisome defilements, but if you don't renounce your lustful thoughts, you will not be able to get out of the dust. Even though one may have some wisdom and manifestation of Chan Samadhi, one is certain to enter demonic paths if one does not cut off lust. At best, one will be a demon king. On the average, one will be in the retinue of demons. At the lowest level, one will be a female demon. These demons have their groups of disciples. Each says of himself that he has accomplished the unsurpassed way. After my extinction, in the Dharma ending age, these hordes of demons will abound, spreading like wildfire as they openly practice greed and lust. Claiming to be good-knowing advisors, they will cause living beings to fall into the pit of love and views and lose the way to Bodhi. When you teach people in the world to cultivate Samadhi, they must first of all sever the mind of lust. This is the first clear and definitive instruction on purity given by the Daskan ones and the Buddhas of the past, world honored ones. Therefore, Ananda, if cultivators of Chan Samadhi do not cut off lust, they will be like someone who cooks sand in the hope of getting rice. After hundreds of thousands of inns, it will still be just hot sand. Why? It wasn't rice to begin with. It was only sand. If you seek the Buddha's wonderful fruition and still have physical lust, even if you attain a wonderful awakening, it will be based in lust. With lust at the source, you will revolve in the three paths and not be able to get out. Which road will you take to cultivate and be certified to the Daskan one's nirvana? You must cut off the lust which is intrinsic in both body and mind, then get rid of even the aspect of cutting it off. At that point, you have some hope of attaining the Buddha's Bodhi. What I have said here is the Buddha's teaching. Any other explanation counter to it is the teaching of the demon's king, Papian. Amitabha. If someone has difficulty to get rid of lust, reciting this part of sutra repeatedly will definitely help. Everyone is their own master, and there's no right or wrong in Dharma. As we said before, there are 10 realms in the universe, and there are 10 roads laid before each one. Everyone chooses their own road, and everyone is responsible for themselves. Everyone will become Buddha one day. The question is, how long you plan to stay in transmigration. Everyone will wake up one day. The question is, how much pain it needs to wake you up. Everything is illusion, and everyone makes their own decision. I'm honored to be here, sharing these words with you today. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to my channel, make comments, leave your questions. See you next time. Bye.